Hey everyone, welcome to ATMS TV. I'm Emma from Adulttoymegastore, and today we are doing things a little differently. So as you can see, I have a guest in the studio. So I have got Tamati here to talk about sexual wellness and sexual positivity. So let's start with a little discussion about sexual wellness. So sexual wellness is basically having a connection and a comfort in your sexual pleasure. So this includes your wants, your needs, your desires, and of course how you interact with other people sexually in the world too. So this includes your sexual health, sexual justice, which are basically the societal structures around sexual wellness, and also, of course, your sexual pleasure. So this can include toys, positions, and the way you like to play with other people.
We saw a lot of toys.
I bet you did.
Is this like... People watch your YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. You had like over 1 million views on some of your videos.
Yeah.
Is this what New Zealanders are watching? Is this what New Zealanders are talking about?
Yeah, I think so. So, funnily enough, on YouTube, the majority of our viewers are actually from the US. But I think that's just because of YouTube as a platform is obviously a lot bigger. But we have a lot of Kiwis on our website, so we also publish all of these videos onto all of our product pages. Because with sex toys, it's quite difficult if you're an online store because you can't pick it up, you can't touch it, you can't see what the material feels like or what the motion feels like.
Yep.
You know, so being able to actually show it and explain it on a YouTube video, I think is really helpful for people that don't get that opportunity to get their little hands on it.
Get your little hands on those toys.
Okay, so what do you think sex positivity is?
Can I be straight up with you?
Yeah.
Being positive about having sex?
That's such a cheap answer.
Well, I mean, yeah. To be honest, I have no idea. How do I answer this? I have no answer, to be honest. I've never heard of sexual positivity until this morning.
Well, to be honest, you're pretty much bang on. So sex positivity is really just about being open about sex. So regardless of the sex that you're having or the sex that you're into, it's basically just having a positive and non-judgmental attitude about sex. So this is particularly important when you're thinking about what others are doing. So just because you don't want to do what someone else does sexually, it doesn't mean that that form of sex is bad or is negative or anything like that. It just means that it's something that they want to do that you don't. So it's really just that kind of mindset around, hey, sex is cool as long as it's consensual, everyone's having a good time, everyone's happy to be there. There's really no problem.
And it's healthy.
It's healthy, see?
It's healthy.
You know the answer.
Hey, sex is positive. I know that. But is it again? Are these conversations that Kiwis are having? Because I feel really uncomfortable talking about sex. Just myself, I wouldn't openly discuss my sex life.
Right.
Is that part of sexual positivity? Is that sexual negativity?
No, it's not, because that's your choice. And so for you, if that's something that makes you feel uncomfortable, then you don't have to do that, because I think sex positivity is also not forcing someone to be someone they're not. So it's really respecting your yeses, but respecting your no's as well. So if you don't want to talk about it, unfortunately you are on a YouTube channel that's all about sex and sex toys, so you're kind of in the wrong place.
Okay.
But I think, you're here, you're having this conversation, right? So
I mean, we're talking about sex, and so far I haven't felt really uncomfortable.
But I do think that is a Kiwi mentality as well, like a little bit. We're quite shy and like hesitant and not super open about, I guess, our emotions and things like that in general. And so I think that sex is one of those conversations that can be really hard. But I think it's changing just based on what we see in the media and things like that. Like there's lots of sex articles on our biggest news websites and stuff like that. And we know that lots of people buy sex toys and want sex toys.
Boy,
I mean, you saw the size of the warehouse.
Boy, oh boy, that's a lot of sex toys.
So can I ask you a question? What was your sex ed like growing up? Because that obviously plays quite a big role in how people approach sexuality later in life.
Well, yes. Okay, this question. Where do I start? No, so I didn't come through traditional kind of, education systems.
Right.
So I came through kura kaupapa Māori. And I think talking about sex still has kind of negative connotations associated to it. I think there's a lot of whakamā when we talk about sex as Māori, even though traditionally, sex was so part of our lives. We celebrated sex. We talked openly about sex. But I think the role of, this is going way too far off topic, but colonisation means we feel really uncomfortable talking about sex. So back at school, we didn't take sex ed seriously.
You didn't have it at all, right?
No, we had it,
right.
but like I don't remember learning anything.
Right.
I just remember seeing, pictures of penises and vaginas and thinking it was just funny.
Yeah, right.
So what I actually probably absorbed was bugger all. So the way I learn, I think, is a bit of the old Kiwi DIY.
Good.
Which...
Well, you got to figure it out somehow, right? So if that's the way.
Yeah. I can't be the only one because the statistics are telling us, the data's telling us that I'm definitely not alone, that New Zealand men are terrible lovers.
Uh-oh. That's really sad. Is that the Saucy survey that said you guys are ranked 4 out of 10?
I didn't want to say that publicly, so that's on you. But yes, 4 out of 10. What makes us so terrible at making love?
I've got a theory. And it's a broad, sweeping generalisation. But I think it's a little bit of that, like, Kiwi bloke mentality of, like, you got to be a tough guy. You got to not have emotions. Everything is just she'll be right. Like, I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to educate myself because it'll just be fine. And I think that, like, I grew up in the 2000s, and anyone that groomed regularly and, like, had a shower daily was called a metrosexual. So it's like, and in a very like derogatory term. So I think it's kind of like stunted the growth of people my age a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think that it just means that men, and Kiwi men in particular, are just maybe not open to having conversations about sex. Because if you talk to any educator around how do I become better in bed and like how do I be a good lover, it's like you have to learn to communicate. It's always going to be the first thing because you don't know what that other person is into, and what works for your previous partner might not work for your new partner. And the only way you're going to know that is if you talk to them about it. But if people are hesitant to do that, then you're not going to be able to have really great sex with one another. So I think there's a little bit to do with that. Maybe a little bit of laziness. Maybe a little bit of I just don't care. In my experience, there's a little bit of laziness.
A bit selfish, maybe?
Yeah,
Okay.
What do you think? What's your theory?
Oh, I'm completely on board with that.
Yeah.
I think, I'm talking about others here. No.
Not you.
Not me, no. No, it probably is a lot to do with laziness and selfishness. But in saying that, the data is telling us that, New Zealand women are better, but not by a great mile.
And to be fair, I just think those stats are wrong.
6 out of 10.
Yeah, wrong. We're amazing. All
6 out of
Kiwi
10.
women are 10 out of 10. Don't worry about it.
But just across the board, it sounds like we just don't do it well.
We were ranked lowest. So as a nation, we were ranked the worst.
Pathetic.
And that's embarrassing. That's a really embarrassing stat to have.
Yeah, usually we're the best in the world. No, not rugby.
What else are we good at? Pavlova eating? I don't know. I can't think of a single.
Eating ice cream.
There we go.
Eating ice cream, the best. Making love, the worst.
The worst. But
I think we should flip them.
yeah, agreed. But there's some things that we can do. Like it's quite cool because I work with adults. So, I'm not working with kids or doing kind of like those early years of sex education. But what I'm finding is that a lot of adults are now being like, I think I can be better at this. And so now they come to us and they say, what should I do? A lot of it is the toys and we talk about that a lot, but we also just do a lot of general sex education for people too, because they're like, I don't even know what this part of my body is, or I don't know what that part of the body is on the person that I want to play with, What does that do? Why does it feel like this? So I'm happy that adults are in a position where they've got places to go. The internet's great. You can get your YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. The Electric Rodeo is a really good sex one. But we do so many articles and things like this all the time because people have so many questions about stuff. And they quite like coming to us about this kind of stuff, I guess, because we're such sex-positive people. So they know where to go. But yeah, like even just having conversations with people, when people find out what I do, even people that might have been really, really shy in the lead up to this will suddenly tell me everything about their sex lives and be like, I've got questions. What else can you give me and provide me information-wise that can help? So I'm happy that there's a change. Do you think that we're changing, like, from your younger years? Do you think that society in general in New Zealand is a bit more open?
I hope so. I mean, again, reflecting on my education and what's changed in that 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I think we are exposed a lot more to positive sexual messaging.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. I think we should stay away from the heavy rap music that I grew up on, where it kind of glorified really terrible things.
Yeah, less Andrew Tate, just across the board. YouTube, please, less Andrew Tate.
But I do think, like, generally speaking, we are better. But I think we've still got a long way to go. I mean, part of it is understanding that we do not do it well. And that's very confronting. But it's like getting over anything, right? You got to confront that and then figure out how to get better and better at it. And then part of that is talking about it, being more open about it. I mean, me personally, I still feel really uncomfortable talking about sex in this YouTube clip. But hey, that's part of it, right? We got to get over that.
Yeah.
And I look at my culture and I think there are so many traditional songs celebrating sex. And now I think we should introduce kind of like positive sex pop songs and push that kind of positive sex message, because otherwise we're just going to be terrible in bed forever.
You're going to be rated 4 out of 10 for all time.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be really sad.
I'm glad you brought up the internet, because the internet is an amazing tool, but it's also where a lot of Kiwis go to watch sexually explicit material.
They do.
In particular Pornhub. Now, according to the data, 2022, the most searched, type of porn New Zealanders search for was lesbian.
I'm really unsurprised to hear that.
Really?
Yeah. It's women on women, it's heart. Women like women, men like women, everyone likes women.
You don't think some men watch, not heterosexual porn to get some tips on how to do it?
But this is another really big generalisation. What I've noticed with Kiwi men is that they have a thing about if any other male is involved in anything that they're watching or talking about, they have to be like, but I'm not gay. You know what I mean? So I think maybe even that kind of vibe maybe is coming across in their porn watching as well. I'm not sure about that, but that is just a little bit of an assumption that I make.
It is a very good theory. The other bit of data that we got was that New Zealanders, compared to the rest of the world, were 7 times more likely to search for things around swimsuits and 5 times more likely to search around yoga pants.
Oh, well,
Does that surprise you?
It's kind of weird, right, to be on Pornhub searching for that. I mean, you could just Google that, to be fair. But it's quite, I don't know, are we vanilla?
I was going to say, are we a little bit boring?
Yeah, is that what it is? Is that what is coming out? Maybe. Because those are just clothing items. That's not even ways to have sex or sex positions or anything, So maybe we are.
The weirdest one was the safe for work one, which we were, I think, 10 times more likely than the rest of the world to search safe for work material.
That's so funny, because you're on the wrong place.
I know. I was going to think, isn't not safe for work the stuff that you found on
interesting.
Pornhub?
There is the comedian, though, that posts his videos on Pornhub, and it's just nice things that women like doing the dishes without being asked and all of that kind of stuff.
Why are we watching that?
Because
why are we watching comedy?
It's funny. Yeah, I know. Go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube New Zealand, watch this instead of going to Pornhub and watching safe for work material.
I mean, maybe they're watching it at work. But you're already in trouble if you're on Pornhub at work.
Boy, that raises a bigger question.
Yeah,
what are you
maybe
doing
they like the risk.
Porn. Yeah.
They're into vanilla stuff, but they like the risk.
Okay.
That's my theory.
Yeah. I don't know. Are New Zealand are we just boring?
Maybe we are. 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. No, we can do better. There's room for growth, I think, is what we're saying here.
Okay. And how do we do that?
It's exploration. So it's self-exploration, but it's exploring with other people as well. Just consuming articles that you might not read, about things that you might not necessarily be into, and maybe it'll jolt a little idea in your mind and be like, oh, maybe I will try that. It's kind of just education in general. You're just learning more things, and if you don't know that something exists, you can't know if you're into it or not, So I think just explore a little bit more.
As a sign that Kiwis are exploring the fact that so many of us are buying toys?
I think so.
And there were three kind of groups of people, three categories of people that I learnt about. It was I call them level 1, level 2, level 3. I just remember level 3, red room.
Yeah,
red room?
It's red room. The red room is. So the first would be kind of like your inquisitive people.
Inquisitive.
So these are the people that they know sex toys exist and they are kind of figuring out what those are, and they're starting off with some really beginner stuff. So
what's that?
So in this, you're going to find things like bullet vibes. So these are just really small, they look like a bullet, and they can be used anywhere on the outside of the body. So they're great for people of all genders, all experience levels. You can use it solo or with a partner. So this is just, I call that like a gateway vibrator.
A gateway vibrator.
It's just little, it's really unintimidating, it's not scary. And then as soon as you try that a few times, you're like, oh, I'll move up a level.
Going to level 2 now.
Yeah.
And what's level 2?
Well, level 2 is more of the explorers. So these are the people that have kind of like, they've dabbled in stuff. So they've probably got a few different kinds of toys. So they've probably got the SP2, which is the most popular sex toy in the world. They've probably got like a masturbation egg, if they've got a penis. So they've got a few of those basic things, and now they're like, what else is there? So they might move into different styles of toys, things that have multiple features. For example, you might use the Kama. So this has clitoral suction, and then it also has this internal end here, and this vibrates as well. So it's just a slight step up from the smaller like SP2. And those people are just starting to kind of look into that. Might be a little touch of BDSM in there.
Okay.
They might be getting some handcuffs going.
BDSM.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so that is kind of getting into your bondage realm. So you're getting into restraint gear. You might be getting into different forms of impact play, rope tying. So that's actually a really, really big category for us as well.
And is that when you're starting to get into the tier 3?
Once you're in tier 3, you know what you're into.
Level 3, there we go.
You're all in. So this might be where you're decking out your red room. So the term red room based on 50 Shades of Grey.
Ah,
have you seen the film?
No. I didn't catch that phase.
I would have
read the
recommended
books.
it, to be fair.
Didn't watch the movies.
Yeah,
they were a book, eh?
They were a book and then a movie, and they were both shit. But that is basically having a room that is kind of like your dungeon. So it's a big playroom that's
with all your toys,
full of things. But these people aren't just into BDSM, so you could still be a red roomer and you're just really into toys. So this is when you're going to get the best brands. You're probably going to spend a little bit more money because you know exactly what you're into, and you want that toy to last forever. And in some cases, they absolutely can if you're getting things like silicone or glass. So those are the people that, if they watch the videos that I make out of fun, they don't need to learn this stuff because they already know it.
You guys are out there watching this right now. I know it. And you guys are probably thinking, Tamati, you need to come up to the red room. I'm okay for now. I'm not even at level 1
I was going to say, start at level 1.
Yeah.
Don't just dive in.
Yeah, I learned a lot today.
I bet you did.
Maybe that's how we get better at it though, right? Just little steps.
Little steps. You don't have to dive into anything. And I think that goes back to that sex positivity thing, is that you don't just have to do everything because you've heard about it as well. You can be into whatever you want. You can be into your swimsuits or your yoga pants, and then maybe you can be into a little bullet vibe or a finger vibe or whatever.
I love it. It's like, going from vanilla ice cream into something a little bit more spicy,
Ooh, a little goody gumdrops.
Love a goody gumdrops. Even an orange choc chip, just to throw it in there.
Outrageous cool, but I'm with you.
Orange choc chip is a little spicy. Why do you think it's so important for us to be, sex positive and to learn how to talk about sex and be better at sex?
Well, it's part of your overall wellness, So at Adulttoymegastore, we talk a lot about the triangle. So this is, you've got your physical wellness, your mental wellness, and also your sexual wellness. And the three all come together and become a part of your overall wellness. So if you're feeling low or unhappy in one of those areas, it actually impacts the rest as well, So it is actually a very important part of people's lives. And toys are just a part of that. But, learning how your body works, learning how to pleasure yourself and to pleasure partners and stuff is all actually part of that whole sexual wellness piece.
It is, because it is a natural thing that we do. Like we're pretty much wired to have sex, but we're so weirdly kind of conservative when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because, like you said, like even with, with your upbringing and stuff like that, it's not talked about as much as it should be. And hopefully what we're seeing now is a little bit of a shift in that. So we do the education and lots of people, really are starting to talk about that. There's heaps of sexual wellness podcasts. There's heaps of YouTube videos and things that you can watch. But there is definitely a shift, and really talking about it is actually one of the best things that you can do, because when you talk about it with your friends even, you realise that, okay, we're all doing this. We've all got questions. We're all a little bit awkward. But if we can talk about it, you can actually, number one, learn some new stuff, but also some of that nervousness and that hesitation to speak about it in the first place just starts to dissipate. So I think having those conversations is actually a really powerful tool for increasing your overall sexual wellness.
It all starts with talking about it,
does.
Etefano. Speaking of talking about it, we should all actually just get a little bit spicy,
Oh, yeah.
Just get a bit spicier with it. Go from vanilla ice cream, maybe up to hokey pokey.
Sounds good.
And then if you're into it, even get a little spicier again and go
Goody gumdrops.
orange choc chip.
Thought we were both going to say goody gumdrops in unison.
Yeah, I don't know. I changed my mind last month.
Okay, that's fine. We'll allow it. So just to finish things off then, because I know everyone in my little audience is going to want to know this.
Here we go.
What's your favourite sex toy?
This is the hardest question. I knew this was coming. To be honest, I've never actually participated
In
sex
toy
toys
time.
or I've never used a sex toy myself.
Level 1, here we come.
That's what I mean. I'm vanilla ice cream.
Thanks for tuning in to Doing It. If you want more, make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of the fun sex toy stuff. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
It's a term that I only heard. The light's okay. The director's
Everyone's
okay. That might make the YouTube, I think.
We do include bloopers, so that's definitely coming in. I'm so
Someone
sorry.
get a shot of the director then.